Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Brief. My name is Janis, your host. I am so excited to be back on this Monday, September 5th. And of course, it's Labor Day. So happy Labor Day to all the amazing workers out there that work their butts off to keep America running. It's truly indebted to all of you. As some of you may know, on the Morning Brief, I do go live on the Wisdom audio app. So I am simulcasting, and I want to welcome my listeners on the Wisdom audio app. Obviously, I kind of have not been around for the past 2 weeks, although I have shown up on the Wisdom audio app for my different podcasts. I, of course, record the Truly Your VA podcast along with the Stories That Inspire Us podcasts live on their respective Facebook pages, as well as through the Wisdom app. And of course, I will be back on again this afternoon at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time for the Stories That Inspire Us podcast with Amanda Love. This will actually be her second appearance, so I'm very excited about that. She's a little pint-sized gem. She's just amazing. Anyway, so I've been away for 2 weeks, was traveling, and then came back a day late and had family over last week, which was so amazing. So many laughs. And, it's always so good to be with your family members and, visit with your little grandniece and grandnephew, my little Princess Ray Ray, who is my grandniece, and of course, my amazing grandnephew, Jedrick. So with that, getting back in the scheme of things, keeping that daily routine, of course, is very important to me. And, as we go through our days and we structure things, sometimes things happen, of course. So while I was away in Maryland, I always want to say DC, but technically I was in Maryland at my stepson's home. And I had purchased a new laptop, a Hewlett-Packard, and had everything set up before I left for my trip. And, all things were going well until I went to record, obviously through Zoom, to my Facebook page. Had to make a few adjustments, but long story short, when things happen, as they do very often, things that are unexpected, even though I went through my new laptop probably 2 or 3 times before I left to make sure I had absolutely everything that I needed and that everything was running smoothly. Shit happens. It's just the way it does. But you know what? We go through it and we power through. But kind of as a result of everything, being in my stepson's new home, and my husband, of course, doing all sorts of work for him, putting up the backsplash in his kitchen and all these other things, I found myself distracted at times, and that's okay to say. And some of the things that I do on a regular basis, I wasn't able to do. So of course, now I am playing catch up, but guess what? Not with any of my guests, things or any of my clients' projects. It's just the administrative side of what I do to keep my business up and running. For instance, just some little things like my Mac computer right now. It's got to be cleaned out again. We're not going to go there. It just needs to be cleaned out. There's a lot of stuff on the desktop that, of course, should not be there, I should say. So it's time to clean it up. So on this Labor Day, I want to welcome, obviously, my listeners on the Wisdom audio app, and would welcome the opportunity to chat with anyone that is in the audience right now. And, let's chat about, when you go away and, when you're trying to catch up on little things. And the important thing about your daily routine, I do want to say, is to obviously do that as much as possible. And the beauty of that is, your self-care routine. So of course I consider myself to be in the 5 a.m. club, typically up anywhere between 4:30, 5 o'clock in that area. And I do my movement routine, then I journal, and then I read. I'm actually just finishing the 5 a.m. club. So welcome again to my amazing listeners on the Wisdom Audio app. And what do you do when your morning routine, or maybe you're away and you're trying to keep your daily routine and you find it a little difficult? How does that affect your mindset? How does that affect your daily self-care, which we know is very critical? And I will give it just another moment for a guest to come up. Would love to have any one of my listeners come up on the stage. And I, of course, typically I do the Two Sisters podcast in the morning, but that's been bumped up to 11. And that's okay. That's the beauty of what I do. Obviously, I love podcasting. And speaking of podcasting, I just created a free 7-day mini series of videos of why I love podcasting, tools of the trade, so forth, so on. And I encourage you to go to it for my listeners on the Wisdom Audio app, and those who may be, of course, listening to the recording, go to my profile on the Wisdom Audio app, and you can sign up for updates, excuse me, directly on my website. And I will be happy to send you my 7-day mini series. There are 7 videos. Pretty much all of them are 3 to 4 minutes. Basically, all of them are under 3 minutes, except for the last video, which is a little over 8 minutes long. And yeah, and so go to my website, sign up for that. I'm really excited about that because on September 30th is National Podcast Day. And I have a guest coming up. And let me make sure I'm hitting the right buttons here. And waiting for the guest to come up. We'll give it just, here he is. Hey, Michael, good morning. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. So welcome to the morning brief and happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day.
Thank you. So as you know, we are also simulcasting through Zoom to my Facebook page. So what has your experience been with, when you go on vacation and keeping your morning routines?
Honestly, when I go on vacation, the morning routine sadly goes away usually.
Okay.
I would like to be more consistent, but I'm learning to be more consistent. It's just not as easy as it should be.
I know. I think, Michael, sometimes that we put some pressure on ourselves to, okay, we have to do this at this time. And what I have found is sometimes the best thing to do is just let go of that. Would you agree with that statement?
I'd like to, but the way I am is if I want to do something that is beneficial to me, I have to do it every day or it goes by the wayside and I forget it. So I try to do whatever I do every day so that I don't forget it and it just doesn't go away.
Right.
So it's a constant thing in my life so that I benefit myself.
Right. And, you just hit upon something there so that it will benefit yourself. What if you started, let's say, I'm just going to use tomorrow for instance, and whatever time that you wake up, and maybe you have a certain time each morning, as many people do, maybe to even do it 15 minutes before you typically wake up, even if it's just taking a walk around your house, or, you may have some videos, or, maybe go to the gym, whatever you like to do. When we start to do those little things each day that we want to do, but for whatever reason, we can't get to it. That kind of establishes a baseline for a routine. And before you know it, you've created a habit.
Yeah. I have I have a morning routine that I try to get to every day, and I want to make that. I'm trying to make that my daily habit. Make sure like it gets ingrained in me.
Right. Now, have you read the 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma?
No, it's on my to-do list. I've seen a lot of videos by him, but I've never read his book.
Oh my gosh, it is amazing. And, I've been off my routine from time to time, like who hasn't, right? We're human, life happens. And I always go back. I have actually a little bit more to read, but I go back within the book, and for my viewers who'll be watching the video, I'm showing the book so they can see what it looks like. And I go back to different parts of that, and I love how he really describes it in detail, but in such a way where it doesn't feel overwhelming. So yeah, I would highly suggest that book. I think you're going to love it.
Okay, good. I'll check it out. I'm usually up by like 5:30.
Ah, the early morning club. Yep. I always say to my friends, hey, if you got an early flight to catch, I'm up. If you need a wake up call, let me know, and I'll be happy to send you that friendly wake up now.
Yeah.
So what are your plans for Labor Day? Do you have any exciting plans?
No, I'm not really doing anything. Right now, I'm walking my dog.
Ah, what kind of a dog?
She is a Bichon Shih Tzu mix.
Oh, wow. I have two little ones. Giovanni, who I call Mr. Squiggle Butts, is oh gosh, a Pomeranian. And then Armani, although I call him the monster, is a mix between I think a Shih Tzu, and I don't know the other brand, but I call him a monster because he's, the cutest, most lovable little lap dog. And then 2 seconds later, he wants to rip your face off.
Nice.
And the funny thing is he answers to the monster now. So everybody calls him Monster. But he is adorable though. So I want to thank Michael for coming up. I have just a few more minutes if somebody else would like to come up, and let's chat about your morning routine, or, let's chat about Labor Day. What is everyone doing for Labor Day? I remember way back when, and this is going back a long time, at my parents' home, and all the relatives coming over, and we had a pool, and it was just such an amazing time. And all of the different, of course, everybody would bring their favorite family dishes, and we'd be swimming, playing games, and then, watching our dads play bocce ball. Those were the good old days. It brings back so many wonderful, wonderful memories. So I'm going to give it just another minute. And of course, I want to thank all my listeners again that are on the Wisdom Audio app right now. And of course, I will be back on the Wisdom app at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time with Amanda Love for the Stories That Inspire Us podcast. This is actually her second appearance, so I'm excited to continue the conversation. And for those of you who are maybe thinking about starting a podcast, don't forget, National Podcast Day is on September 30th. Go to my website under my profile page, or if you listen to the video on YouTube, you can go to my website, www.TrulyYourVA with Janis, JANIS.com, and sign up for updates where you'll see it on the right-hand side. And you can be enrolled to, of course, receive my 7-day mini series that I just recorded, 7 videos. Most of them are under 3 minutes, or maybe one I think is 3 to 4 minutes. And of course, the last one is a little over 8 minutes. And on that note, I want to thank all of you listeners on the Wisdom Audio app for being here. And I want to thank Michael for coming up. Of course, I will also be uploading the audio and the video to this, the audio to my base platform. It will be on my podcast website and as well as on YouTube. So thank you all for being here. I'm actually getting ready to do an 11 a.m. podcast with the Two Sisters podcast. And of course, we record live to the Two Sisters Facebook page. So if you're looking, or if you want to see like how we do podcasts, feel free to go over to the Two Sisters podcast page at 11. Thank you all so much for being here today. And we'll see you, Wisdom listeners, at 1:30 this afternoon Eastern time. Thank you. Hey, Facebook, thank you so much for being on the Truly Your VA with Janis Facebook page. It's going to be an amazing day. I'm going to sign up for now, getting ready, like I said, for the Two Sisters podcast. Excited. You never know who may be a guest. We'll see you shortly. Bye for now.